Uh, I don't know, want to be a good player.
Sure.
I
I
mean,
mean,
not, yeah, just like, I don't know, kind of feel, I mean, I don't take the game as seriously anymore, but
hmm
I do like, being good. I used to play a lot of competitive in Overwatch 1. I like
yes.
hadn't missed a season since season 6, even if I did play like one game just to have it on my profile.
Yeah.
I don't really. Then Overwatch 2 got rid of all those seasons, so I don't really care about rank that much. To be honest, I just want Jade Weapon. But
I
I,
respect
I
it.
I do like being good at games. So
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Now, the interesting thing here is that good is relative, obviously, but I'm looking at your form here. I mean, Masters 5 is good, right?
I'm B3 now because of
Okay, but still good, right?
but
I
yeah,
think
still,
if I
still,
think if you're
yeah.
Diamond Plus, you're officially good at the game. Um,
Mhm.
Now, what has kind of hurt your motivation a little bit, if you don't mind me asking? Because it sounds like you've been playing
Um,
for quite a long time.
yeah. To be honest, the game, and not to be elitist at all, but like it feels like it's okay. I don't know how to say this without being a dick, but especially roll queue boosted a bunch
Yep.
of people, so it's kind of just like, well, why would I even bother with ranked? Because Overwatch 2 ranked kind of just feels like a joke to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really respect it as much. Um, and I forgot the question. Can you say
I
it
mean,
again?
why are you just not as serious? And you gave me a pretty good answer there, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care about ranked that much because and people get really pissy in ranked. I don't really like it. And then ranked games can be long. Sometimes I just want to like I mainly do just play quick play. I mainly play this game just because Mercy is so fun to me.
sure.
So um I don't mind flexing in ranked, and I do that when it's needed.
Yep.
But it's I don't know. Mercy is just super fun to me, and I mainly just want to play this game for Mercy to have
Okay.
fun and not like for ranked. And I have like my phases with ranked. Even in Overwatch 1, I would play a lot during the summer or something because that's when I used to have a lot of free time because no school. Um, so sometimes I would want to play ranked because people took it more seriously, and I wanted to take the game a bit more serious. Then I just wanted to play with people who weren't fucking throwing like
Yeah.
people used to like doing quick play.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and I guess just the thing that like kept me playing Overwatch 1 ranked was that I hadn't missed a season since season 6. Like I had all of them there. So
Right.
then it just like got erased in Overwatch 2, and I just didn't really care anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting because I mean, even looking through your form here, like motivation is at an all-time low. You just chill. You're just being chilling, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you just like being coached. You just like people looking at you and making fun of your gameplay. I guess you know. So
Yes.
I respect it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to say. You know, sometimes for me, it's people come in with goals that are conflicting with the way that they're playing the game, and that's kind of where I step in and be like, hey, you know, either your goals need to change or the way that you're playing the game needs to change. But you seems like your goals and your gameplay are matching up. No, not
Yeah.
super serious, just chilling and enjoying it for what it is, and that's mostly it.
Yeah,
Um,
I do
yeah, go
like
ahead.
being coached. Like I've gotten a few coaching sessions from Leandra previously, and like
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
just like being given insight and stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I get it. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add there. I mean, if that's where you're at, then be my guest, of course. So I guess maybe talk to me a little bit about your hero pool here, because you say you play it mainly for Mercy, but you're flexing as necessary. Is that more of a rank
Yes.
thing? Does that bleed into quick play as well? And then if like kind of like
That's
what educates your swaps, I guess.
yeah. That's definitely a ranked thing. Like
Sure.
I very rarely play not Mercy and quick play, and that's
Yep.
if I've already had like a long session and I'm kind of bored and done with Overwatch. So I like, or if it's a map I really fucking dislike. Sometimes on Esperanza, I just go Moira because I fucking hate
Too
that
big.
map.
Too big.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So,
Okay. Fair enough.
but in ranked, if people ask me to, of course I'll switch, especially if they ask nicely. Like season 9, I played 5 hours of Moira and 18 of Mercy because Moira was really good then, and people were asking like, "Oh, can you go Moira?" Or sometimes if I
Yeah.
see like, for example, we have like a Jungle Queen and a Lucio, of course I'm not gonna fucking play Mercy with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and I also played Zenyatta. I cannot flex onto all of the supports, but of course Moira I can do pretty well. I had a phase with Kiriko when she came out, so I played her for like 15 hours. So I think I can do her pretty well. Lucio is my second most played hero. He's really fun.
Yeah.
Ana is pretty simple, so I can do her too, but my aim is not the best. So
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, for flexing, I really think it's like just like what's your pocket pick or pocket picks. I don't think you should ever feel the need to learn more than a handful of supports. Period. Nobody
yeah,
should. Because
yeah,
the nice thing about Overwatch is even if you think about like, oh, Mercy and Moira have similar strengths and weaknesses. I mean, obviously they don't, right? Like they don't. They might have similar mechanical demands, but like vastly different strengths and weaknesses. Moira is way more survivable, way more burst healing, way more flank priority, flank control, duelist mindset, right? So if you're playing versus more dive heavier comps, or even a brawl heavier comp, she's gonna feel a little bit better, right? And then you bring in Zenyatta to the mix, a lot more range, a lot more poke. So like you talk about like, I have a lot of different characters I can play. For you, I would, if you really wanted, if you were to take competitive more seriously, I would just have like one or two other picks. I would not feel the need or
yeah.
desire to play more than one or two more than Mercy.
Yeah, I do have that, and I do mainly play
Good.
Mercy, and then I switch on to Moira, and well, Kiriko was okay at the start of the season, so I played her a bit. Um, and I have played like a bit of Break Zen this season. That was because people only asked me to. But
Okay.
it's I do mainly like I used to. I don't remember what I used to flex to back in like Overwatch 1, but like Ana a lot and Zenyatta at one point.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, I would say like I mainly flex onto like Moira or something like that
Yep. Okay.
nowadays.
Okay. Sounds good.
People don't really ask for anything else.
Sure. What do you hope to get out of the session? Fixing small underlying issues that I possibly do not notice anymore, working on the details and making sure I'm using my brain while playing. Autopiloting and complacency. I've played since 2017, so I've got my habits. Elaborate a little bit.
Um, yeah, it's kind of like that. Like at one point when I was playing competitive, I realized like I was looking at my stats, which you can gather some info from stats, but it's not like the whole picture. But I was just looking at my stats, and I'm a very damage boost heavy Mercy. And then I looked at my stats, and I only had 1.2k or something like very little damage boost pretend than what I would like actually want. And I was like, am I actually using my brain when I play? And then I realized, okay, I want to focus on damage boosting more. And then I focused on damage boosting more and being like more cognizant of my beam management and shit. And then I won like 4 games in a row because I was like actually using my brain and playing. So
I'll go as far
and
to
with
say that,
the
like, with a damage boost, it might not have even been the damage boost, but the fact that you had something to put emphasis on meant that you were just in general more alert and more awake when you were playing.
yeah, I do think it was that, and I think like looking at my damage boost that like helped me realize that like, oh, I actually, because I think it comes with having played so long, especially with the small habits. Like I played so long, I just I know how to play the game. I don't really necessarily need to use my brain to play the game. So I just play the game without really thinking too much, and
Right.
that doesn't do many favors.
No, no. Because the thing is, it's like, if you were to want to be masters consistently again, it's gonna like you're gonna need to develop your autopilot a little bit more again, because if your autopilot was like Diamond 3, then you need to upgrade your autopilot to be like a Masters 5 level, and that's
Yeah.
going to mean building some good habits, tearing down some bad habits, and that takes like conscious thought. The tricky thing with you though is you don't really use your brain anymore. I'm not making sure I'm using my brain while playing. But how on earth are you going to have any motivation to do that consistently if you're not taking competitive as seriously? I'm not saying that you need to take competitive more seriously there, but there shouldn't be any surprise that you tend to kind of go through the motions when like you're just kind of playing for fun.
Yeah.
So like we could talk about gameplay. I'll point out some bad habits. I'll give you some things to work on, but I mean, ultimately you are what you're motivated to become, right? Like there's very
Exactly.
rarely discrepancy between that. So like, we could have fun with it, but I wouldn't expect like, I honestly, I wouldn't even beat yourself up for any mistakes that you make. Cause like you just don't play super seriously. So it's up to you. I mean, maybe having those goals in case you ever do decide to take the game more seriously might be useful. But in the meantime, like it is what it is. Okay. Small issues or anything. Okay. Any questions before we jump into gameplay here?
Can't think of any.
Okay. Let's take a look. Shoot me a code and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Got it. So why did you choose this code?
Um, I felt like I did pretty okay, but I still like made some mistakes that might have like caused us to lose the game, and that might have not been the best decision making. And I think also possibly you can see like some of my bad habits here.
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay, sounds good. So one of the things I always like to see with Mercy is, are you on the person that's contributing value, right? And this is like goes back to the very fundamentals of Mercy. It's like your pocket support is really what you're best at. So you're definitely more damage pilled in terms of who you're pocketing, just because your tank healing per second isn't super great. But you really just want to be providing support, whether that's healing or damage boost, to whoever's contributing the most. And whoever's contributing the most is usually a multiplication of their positioning. For example, a lot of bronze Mercy mains would pocket an Ashe back here because they saw, a tier list talking about like how damage boosted Ashe is really good. But like looking at the positioning right now, who's actually contributing? Who's actually positioning themselves right now?
The Genji.
The Genji, right? Right. So the Genji's a lot more valuable to pocket right now. Now, if the Echo takes a different angle, or like let's say you're playing Ashe here or playing Ashe here, aggression is relative, but you really want to pocket aggression. You want to pocket proactivity. That's the big thing. So like right now, I think you're kind of, you need to get to your Genji and you needed to be there sooner. And I think that's the biggest problem right now, is that your Genji was the one taking space and he didn't get any help at all, right? And that's something that you could have read, I think, even 10 or 15 seconds ago. I mean, even here, right? Like, so as bad as pocketing a tank is, I think with the level of aggression that you're on and Echo are playing, it's not even, they're sitting like a trillion miles away and not doing particularly much. Who should be the being beyond now, as weird as it is?
The tank, I guess.
The tank, right. It's not normal to be that, but like looking at the relative aggression of your backline, it should be a heal beam on Ryan. You kind of see what I'm saying? That's where my philosophy with this character really comes down to. And then here, what do you think about it now?
I mean, not to like toot my own horn, but like, I mean, is the monkey gonna do much to Echo? Because she just flew away, and I guess it could be on Ryan, because like the Echo's gonna fly away from the monkey. He can't do much.
It could be on Ryan, but remember, we're not just thinking about it in terms of support, as in like, we're gonna help you to not die, we're going to help you get the kill, right? Like you could have your Echo fly away, but you could also beam your Echo so that she doesn't have to fly away and she just murders the monkey right now. Or you could damage boost the Echo so that she murders the monkey faster, right? My point here is that like, yes, the Ryan is maybe under a little bit more pressure, but the Echo is going to get value out of the beam here. So the Echo pocket is fine.
And Anna's already helping the Ryan.
Right, that's it exactly. So like, now, the thing is that pivoted, though. You see that? So it was Echo now, but then as the Winston moved away, once again, the beam needs to go back on Ryan, just based off of what's happening on our screen, because the Echo now no longer is in aggressive position doing anything. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, I understand the concern of going to your Ryan there, but you can bounce tech that. You know that, right? So I'm going to use, like, some terms that I have. I don't know if they're the proper Mercy tech terms, so just correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I also have a problem with like Junkrat spam. Like I forget about like, you'll see it later. Like I forget about like his spam, and I'll run into it sometimes, and I'll almost get killed because of it.
Okay. Pocket priority here is fine. Echo's actually doing something for once, so that's nice. And see, this is where you got to ask yourself: is my Echo under pressure? Is my Echo in a position to do something? So then the pocket's good, right?
Yeah.
This is where you choose to pocket your tank, or you choose to pocket your Echo, and you choose your Echo because she's going to get more out of the healing, more out of the damage boost. The other way to look at it as well, obviously, is that to pocket your tank means putting yourself more at risk, whereas the Echo has a slightly closer position near cover. So for you selfishly, this feels to make the most sense, right? Yeah, this is all good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Good movement. Good pocket priority there. No complaints. Really, really well done. Nice. Well done.
Thank you.
There it is. He was waiting. That was calculated. You know, he just knew. He just knew. I think Junkrat players are the players that most are the best role players out of all the one tricks. I think they might be all clinically insane. Okay, I gotta know. I just gotta know. I gotta know. Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know.
Did she miss the corner turn with the pulse? Oh, she did. She missed the pulse, so she recalls right back into her pulse. That's unfortunate. That is something. Yeah. That's a Spylo Tracer play if I've ever seen one. Okay, pocket priority here, pretty obviously. Look carefully, right?
The tank.
The tank, because the tank's doing something now. Then, with the anticipation that your Genji will take space, of course, off of it. By the way, the Valk is good. Mid fight, needed to use it. Just use it.
Yeah.
Not to be that guy. Not to be that guy. By the way, if you don't really have a really juicy Valk beam here, what should you be doing? Think carefully. Let the voices enter your head.
I could pistol.
You could pistol. But what I want you to do is I want you to scout for it. All right. So here's what you do. Drop. Scout, go. Single beam on a tank. Blech. I think this guy's fish food. I think he's cooked. I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I really do.
I do like pistoling, but I don't want to get like overconfident, and then also because I'm in Valk, I'm not gonna get any ult charge from pistoling, so I don't want to like feed them unnecessary ult charge.
Well, the thing is, it's not about ult charge. It's about space. It's about kills. Because if this Junkrat positioning useful, right? Yes, it is. It's annoying. It's useful. It's denying your Genji this very same high ground. Even if you don't get the kill, you pistoling here is likely to force this Junkrat to disengage this direction. Think about what your Genji and Echo can do with that space.
Very true.
Right?
I usually do that with Widows. I guess I should think about doing it with other DPS as well.
Right. To me, I actually don't really care what DPS is here. I mean, I think it's more about that this position is really accessible and really isolated, right? So a lot of Mercies would be like, oh, let's go for the Ana over here. No, why?
If she doesn't sleep me and then I die, she can just fall back to her Baptistas right there.
It just feels it's too far, right? It's not convenient, right? You have to kind of go in the middle of the enemy team to do so. This is an isolated target on an angle, clear the angle. And I want to clarify that the reason I'm encouraging you to do this is because your Valk is getting low value. I like the Valk itself because it was probably needed to save your Echo if your Tracer didn't kill herself. But now the Valk isn't getting any immediate value, so you need to be scouting for poke options. Is there somebody isolated over here? Is there somebody isolated over here? Is there somebody isolated here? The answer is yes. Clear the angle, and then heck, you could just force a Junk out and then go back to damage boost your Ram, right? Or maybe at that point your Genji and Echo's taking space. So it's at least worth a scout, because you're feeling like this is okay, but like I don't feel like I'm getting a lot out of this. And then the worst part about it is because you're tunneling on the tank a little bit here, which could be because you're not checking what's going on around you here. You're not even looking at the top left. Do you see what's on your screen here? Do you see it now? You see the Genji? That's your beam priority right now. It needs to go. And so now it's too late. And so Genji ends up having to leave the angle and Junkrat stays. You see it?
Yeah.
So whether pistol or pocket, it needed to be there and it wasn't.
Okay.
And this is where I think like, I'm beating you over the head, because that's what my job is. But like in reality, like this level of like thinking, it takes a lot of focus, right? A lot of work. And so I am going to always give the disclaimer that I understand that this is not exactly quick play, chilling, mercy. This is a little bit of sweat. So this is really your call about whether this is, how important is this to you? Risky but reasonable. And again, I like the peel back here. Why? Because is the Ana doing something? Yes. She's being dove. So you give him an initial pocket. You don't probably feel safe going with him without Valk. So then you go back and you go back to the Ana who's currently being harassed. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah. Like the Genji was fine enough. He had Nano.
Yeah. And you even gave him a little bit of an entry pocket as well. It was good. Was this preventable? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Again, it's just like one of the questions of like, as soon as I see this Winston out, your first attention needs to be not, you are aware, it's just not fast enough. Like, I appreciate how much your camera is moving, it's just a little slow. Okay. Good res. I always love the reses once like you've ensured that the team is stabilized. It's really good.
I think I also have kind of like a problem of disengaging too much sometimes, or taking a long route to reposition, and so I lose beam up time a lot.
Maybe.
Like yeah, there was a Junker ult there, but I feel like I could have not peeked out the door back there, or then I should have like committed to that door because my team was gonna push up or something. But I feel like I was out of the fight a bit too much, and I feel like that's kind of a habit of mine.
Okay, but when you say you feel like it's a habit of yours, what other circumstances does that happen?
Kind of like I don't know, just like trying to reposition without it being too risky.
Okay.
Like I'll GA around walls and then like bounce off of it, and then like I won't have my beam on anyone for like a good.
So is it a mechanical mistake? Like you goof up?
I think it's just like decision making, I guess.
Okay, and decision making in what regard in that example?
I mean, I guess it's not having uptime or trying to. I mean, I don't want to like fly out in the fucking open to get my beam onto someone.
Right.
But
my point being here is this is kind of like saying like, oh, I have a real problem with sleep, and I'm like, oh well, what's the problem? well, I stay up until 3 a.m. playing Overwatch. I sit on my phone, scrolling through Reddit until 4 a.m. And then last night I was up till 6 a.m. drinking vodka. Like I definitely agree that you have problems with sleep, but you have 3 different causes for the problems with sleep. So saying that you have a sleep problem is not really accurate. You have a phone problem, you have a partying problem, or you have an Overwatch problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're diagnosing like a symptom here, but like what's the disease? Okay, maybe I was like too slow in repositioning, or I'm too hesitant to like pocket people. Like, do you notice that what we've given you in terms of priorities so far has been, you're not always aware of like who's actually taking initiative, and so you're slow to support that initiative, right?
Okay.
That's been the major problem, and that is going to affect your beam quality. Like if I'm your Genji, I'm losing my mind on first fight with where my Echo and Ana were playing, and the fact that my Mercy didn't even look at me, even though this is a really safe angle for you. That was the problem. That's something that we need to fix. And it's something that's actually shown itself, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times so far. It keeps happening. Right? And so that's this quote unquote sleep problem we need to fix here. So you might be right, but I challenge you to, we feel like, oh, I feel like I have a problem with this. Okay, well then, in what circumstance? Like we're playing versus a rip tire here. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a problem with rip tires? Like that's, I don't know. Like how often does this problem replicate itself? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of really hard to pinpoint the problem here, Now here, seems reasonable enough. But see, even here, like I understand why you go back for your BAP, but honestly, like it's an echo copy and your Genji's looking to take space here. This might be a misread of priorities here. And this is kind of, again, where I'm more concerned, right? Like, I understand why you go back here, but maybe it's better to pocket your Genji because, again, he's really doing stuff, right? You get what I'm saying? It's a tough call here, so I'm going to cut you some slack because it's not like your Echo didn't need it. Of course she needed it, right? But it's, once again, like, you have to really ask yourself, was that worth the trade here? This Tracer's not real. Okay. Yeah, and you see, look at the swap, right? He's had it, right? Like he may not say it, but he's had it, right? He's not getting any support anytime he takes any sort of initiative. This is good. Why is this good? Who's got space?
Well, at least we have the high ground.
Right? Who on your team is actually has an aggressive position to do things?
The Echo.
The Echo, right? Now you could look at this and be like, well, my Ana is poking too. That is true. My Cassidy will be poking soon. That is true. Echo is good too. Your choice here, really. Your choice. I don't mind this either. when this is damage, right? Aggression looks different for each character. Yeah, and see, this is where I like the pocket and the Cassidy much better, because what's the difference between your Echo and Cassidy now from a third-person POV? Do you see it?
Echo doesn't really have like an angle on anyone.
Yep, you got it. So she's not creating any space. And this is a consistent problem with this Echo, right? This is the Mercy effect where we start coaching every other person on the team because we can see all their positioning errors. Your Echo is really bad, respectfully. Like, she's really bad at taking space. She's super passive. She's playing it like a Widowmaker, which is obviously not working out so well, right? And so your Cassidy, also the Genji, coincidentally, is also taking space on Cassidy. Shocker, really, right? This guy has been the guy actually taking initiative here, and he demands and deserves resources, whether that's damage, boost, or heal. You need him to stay there. And so he doesn't get the pocket soon enough, so he gets cleared out. You notice that? See, even here, you're looking for Echo to pocket, but where is your Echo again? You know? I mean, this is horrible. Like, who should be getting pocket right now?
Definitely not the Echo.
Definitely not Echo.
The Cassidy.
Maybe Ramacha, maybe Cassidy. Heck, even Ana, like if she's peeking here. Yeah. So it's all about the positioning. The target priority of the pocket only matters when positioning is equal. When one person has a more... I don't care if it's a Lucio. If the Lucio has the better angle, you pocket the Lucio. If he's actually doing something. This is good. I like the Valk. I like the also not rezzing here, but then, you let your attention slip. Because where does the pocket need to go here?
The Ramacha.
Or
the Cassidy who's going.
Or the Cassidy. Both are fighting, right? Both need the pocket. You let your attention split. I think the Ramacha doesn't demand as much as the Cassidy. And once again, the Cassidy's the one taking the initiative here, and he dies because he loses pocket. That's where you have to decide who's better, pocket, Ram, or Cass, because both are doing things. And I choose the Cassidy. Why?
He doesn't have nearly as much health.
That's it, right? So the beam healing matters much more to him because they're both taking a great deal of damage. I like the Valk. I really do. I think the Valk was totally fine. But the pocket priority really, really hurts you right there. Now, I'm beating you over the head with a hammer. I know that's why we're here, but I want to delve a little bit deeper, okay? I know why you are not playing to your best. And I know why that maybe some of these things because your motivation isn't as high, okay? But I guess it might be worth thinking about, why is it that of all the habits, this is the one that keeps coming to the surface when I'm not putting my attention to it? Which specifically is not paying attention to teammates' positioning when deciding pocket. Why do you think that that's the more obvious issue here?
I don't know. I guess I could blame it on like old habits. Like, I have who I like to pocket. I have I guess I have my idea of like this is a good time to pocket someone, or this is like a time where people aren't doing anything, I guess.
Sure.
I'm not
sure. But do you understand kind of what I'm trying to dig at here?
Yeah.
Do you understand kind of what I'm saying in regards to pocket priority is positioning? Okay, just want to make sure, because I think your movement, your personal positioning has been relatively fine, right? But sometimes you're not complimenting, people that are taking initiative, that are taking space. Like even here, right? You see it, right? The tendency. She is not doing anything. She will not do anything. Your Ram is a better pocket target than your Echo right now. And certainly your Cassidy, right? So it does come down to a little bit of that tier list mentality. Echo better pocket priority. Okay, so let's actually talk about that. Why is Echo generally a better pocket target than Cassidy, at least on paper?
She can burst people really easily, especially with damage boost.
So can Cassidy though, no? You get what I'm saying?
But then I can also get good like positioning from Echo.
Yeah. That's it right there. That's it. It's the positioning. It's the positions that she usually plays with the verticality, the very aggressive angles, like a Tracer Genji, but you don't like pocketing Tracer Genji as much because they get a little too close and they're more on the ground. Echo provides that aggression, but she also provides the verticality that you can pocket safer. Does that make sense? That should sound familiar because that's also why Pharah is a good pocket. Pharah can be extremely aggressive, but that verticality angle allows you to do the pocket without dying. That's why pocketing Orion sucks, because Orion doesn't have verticality. He's aggressive, but he's on the floor, right? And that's just not good for you, right? So we could talk about break points and burst damage and stuff like that, but I actually think the more important thing is like, how do these characters usually position? And then oftentimes it'll complement how you like to play, right? That's why Widowmaker is not really a great pocket target, because, oh yeah, well, you can't damage boost a one-shot as much. It's not as useful. But it's also because she plays so far that you don't really need to use your movement. And so why are you playing Mercy? Kind of a thing, right? Like, you don't get any slippery bonus points for playing Widowmaker. But yeah, that's something to kind of to keep in mind. Okay. Like right now, the pocket on Cassidy is really good. You let the beam break, but why did you let the beam break? Was it just a goof up? Let's look at it carefully.
I think I didn't expect him to go that far in. I think I just like expected him to poke and then like fall back.
Right, I understand. I think it's like one of those things where like it's definitely a high risk, high reward play, but that Winston is really low, and also there's nobody else there too. You know, it feels like a little bit of a mistake, just like a goof up on your end. Good pocket on the Ram though. Good pocket on the Ana. They get back on the Ram, then back on the Ana or Echo because they're being dove, right? So then they can do stuff. Then back on the Ram. Then back on the Echo who's actually doing something, and then immediately needs to go back to the Ram. If you can. You are losing your beam a lot, I am noticing. Do you remember what happened here? I'm not sure if you remember this exact situation. Maybe you're thinking about Robot?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Get her.
Yeah, almost get spammed.
Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. Okay, this is very important. You see it? Finally. Finally. It's because she has copy, but you know what? Reward her. Reward her. If she does it, she gets the pocket. Yep. And the thing is even if she's like a lower ranked player here, like you can amplify a lower ranked player to if they act like a higher rank, then hey, sure. There you are. Yeah, this is beautiful. But see, this is beautiful because it also happens to be the character that you like pocketing. That's why you're doing it, right? It has nothing to do with the position. It has to do with the person, you know? That's funny. Riptire. Good. I like the pocket on the Ram. And then obviously Cassidy's here. Everyone's kind of playing aggressively here. And this is where it really just comes down to whoever you want, honestly. Good. Good Valk. Really good Valk. I like the patience as well with the res as well. It makes me very angry when people res mid-fight when the healing is needed.
Yeah.
Like, so they get the res off and then two other people die. Yeah, this was good. This was super, super, super good. Because you know what's funny? The reason why it was good, because all you had to do was beam properly and not feed. And those are things that you're halfway decent at, especially the not feeding part, right? If there was any kind of decision-making or choice about who to pocket, you're going to fail it 9 times out of 10. But there wasn't any choice here because everybody was aggressive. So it was just like, well, beam whatever, you know, Echo, it doesn't really matter, right? So because everyone's going to use the beam. So also you've already shown that you have good patience with your resurrect. And so that rewards you this fight too. So like that fight was like a perfect little microcosm of like all your strengths, which is why it went so well. And you didn't have to think about pistoling because the Valk was very much needed on your team. So, okay. You see it?
Yeah.
It needs to be on Cass. It needs to be on Cass. Yep, it needs to be on Cass. I won't bring it up anymore. I'll be nice.
Would it have helped us this fight if I had been on Cassidy, do you think, before? Because we don't have our Ana here.
Yes, it would have. It would have. It would have.
Okay.
Because you're definitely like looking at this fight the right way. You're like, you know, we really shouldn't be posturing that aggressively, right? We're down one.
Yeah.
But the thing is then if your team is going to be too aggressive, at least maybe we can get some trades here. Like the other way to look at this as well is if your Cassidy's damage boosted and pocketed, at least for them to punish a 4v5, they're going to get their eyes blacked. They're going to get their nose bloodied. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to hurt. Like this Cassidy here, this is going to hurt and he's going to absorb this dive. And unless he's nated, he's going to live. He's going to live. Like you guys have a real chance of like making this dive really suck if this guy's pocketed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
And even going as far as like that guy might have lived if he'd had consistent heal pocket as well. You kind of see what I'm saying? So I would say that like your overall team strategy here, yeah, it's really, really poor, but you're exacerbating things and making this a lot worse. Like I could look at this fight here and be like, if you pocket Cassidy, you force Primal Rage 100%. Let's put it that way. And so then, yeah, you lose the fight, but you go back in the next fight and everything is a lot more reasonable. Okay. I know somebody like Neandra and Skiesti might have taken a little bit longer look at maybe your movement there. But for the theme of what we're doing here, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Good. Like the awareness here. I will say you're actually pretty good with your peripheral awareness too. A lot of lower rank Mercies, I have to coach them into that. You already have the skill set. I just don't think you're making good decisions with the information that you're getting. But the good news is that's a lot easier. It's a lot harder to train somebody to keep their head on a swivel, to always be looking around. You are doing that. You're just not making the right decisions once you have the information, but that's much easier to fix. The irony here is, who should you be pocketing? Look carefully.
The Echo.
The Echo, yeah, the Echo. You got it. Good. Good. Very good. Really, really nice. Nice. Like, look at how much your head moves. This is really, really gorgeous. Love it. No! You lost the Echo. You need to stay on the Echo. Right here, right? See it?
Yeah, because she goes in.
She goes in. Now, you might not be able to follow her all the way in with Bap Window, but you can definitely hug here and just stay on the angle here, right? You get it? Okay. Can't really help your Ram because this is the only guy that's doing something, right? So in theory, you should be helping your Ram, but obviously, like, you can only help who you can help, right? And usually with Mercy, it's going to be somebody on the periphery, never anybody that's just running it down main, because you just die for that, right? Yeah. So he's dead.
And I do die for it.
And you do die for it, right? But you know what's funny is, like, if you had been on the angle on the periphery with the Echo in the first place, this wouldn't have happened. Okay. I want to do some live coaching if you're interested.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just
because I don't think we're going to have too much more to add here, and I don't want to be, hey, let's look at another VOD, and we say the same things for 25 minutes. I love the sound of my own voice, but, I think that's just me, so maybe we'll finish this map out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Good Valk. Again, I like the awareness and I like the pocket right now. I actually might have moved it onto my Echo here. See, that's kind of like, that's a mistake, right? Just because it's not really a good isolated target and you have somebody who actively needs the beam, so that's where the heal beam's more important. He may just be a lost cause. Yeah, he's a lost cause. Okay. Sure, I mean, it's worth a shot. Okay, let's do some live coaching here. I don't really care which one. If you want to do quick play, if you want to do ranked, I don't really care. It's up to you.
I think it might be quicker if I do a quick play.
Totally fine with me. Any questions?
Can't think of any really right now.
Okay. So 2 things I want you to practice. I'll take notes in your channel when we're done here. Pocket priority based off of positioning, right? Number 1, look at the situation pocket, not the target, but the position is what you're doing. And then second thing here is let the voices win if your Valk isn't getting good value. And look for angles specifically, like look corner, like things that are safe for you to poke out. I actually don't even care necessarily if it's a Widowmaker or an Ana, or just remember, get them out of that position or contest that position, because that's value, right? Like, you're absurdly hard to beat in a 1v1 when you're in Valk, like no matter how high of a person you're playing versus. So just keep that in mind. No Pistol Mercy deathmatch? Cringy.
I fucking hate deathmatch. Everyone always goes fucking Roadhog or Moira, and it's so fucking annoying.
If you can't beat a Roadhog in a deathmatch 1v1, it's kind of a skill issue, I think. Just hit more shots. It's really simple. Dodge hook, hit shots, and then continue to hit shots for, I think, 60 seconds to kill a Roadhog as Mercy?
Just hit all that shots.
It's really simple. Just dodge, 6 or 7 hooks, and you'll be all right. No problem. It happens to me too all the time. It's super annoying. I don't know why it does this. Not enough room to join match. Okay, well. Discrimination
What, 20
versus mercy
seconds
means
to
again.
realize that?
Yeah. Well, that was weird. It's
I
like
guess I didn't
arcade.
want to play anyway.
Yeah, the game's like, screw you. Here's what you should do. You should click the ready button. I think that will be good.
I'm gonna restart.
Okay, that's fine. Are you from Finland?
Yeah.
It was your first mistake. It's your first mistake. Should just live somewhere warmer. It's so much simpler.
No, but I was actually in Vienna last week and I was boiling alive because it's so hot. I think.
How hot was it?
I'd rather take the 10 play. Oh, a Q.
A Q. Wow.
Yeah, I'd rather take the 20 Celsius over here. Thanks.
Yeah. I respect it. I mean, that's very pleasant. It's not quite, it's like 24, 25 Celsius today for us, so it's been nice and cool. It's not been too bad.
Yeah.
The other day it was like 33, 34.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I was visiting my friend in Vienna and we went for a picnic, and that day we went, it was like 34. It was fucking brutal.
Yeah. I grew up in Florida for like 12, 13 years. Misery.
Oh,
Misery. God. It's fine if you're at the beach. If you're anywhere else, you're just hating your life. It's miserable.
I'm actually gonna go comp because by default I'm not gonna take quick play seriously.
I respect it. I respect it. See, now you're paying attention to this. This is good. There's something on the line now, so. All right, Shirley, here we go. Roadhog mains, here you come. Wait, Anna, Tracer, Doom. Oh, there's a Malka. Does anybody even join match chat in a deathmatch?
I don't know. I used to play like friendly lobbies, so I have it auto join.
Gotcha. Not like those, erotic roleplay games, right? Some of those are just profane. Some of those, I'm joining in. There was one posted the other day that they're like, it was like something like, abuse simulator. And I'm like, hello? How is this even allowed? Like, surprised that those guys aren't like permanently banned or whatever. And it was on the main screen. Like, it was like, you click custom games. It was like one of the first things that showed up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And then there's the good ones that are like the one dad versus like 11 kids. Those are funny.
Oh yeah, the boss fights.
Yeah.
Those are pretty funny.
Did you ever do the Thomas the Tank Engine, like, or the train Reinhardt? Or
oh my god, I did. That was so fun.
Dude, it was so scary, man. So scary. I would legit like catch myself like jumping every time. It was horrifying.
Literally. I really like the what is the one where you're D.Va and then when your mech breaks you get another character.
Oh, I've not played that one. What is it called?
I think it's called D.Va Egg or something.
Sounds fun. I remember when Tiny Overwatch first came out. I think it was like 2019. And dude, everybody was playing Tiny Overwatch. It's total brain rot.
Mm-hmm.
You ever played the two-dimensional Overwatch?
Not really.
It's kind of fun. It's like a novelty for like the first 2 or 3 minutes. You're like kind of like Mario, like all straight line, and just kind of like spamming crap at the guy. That's pretty much it.
I used to play some like Mercy One Punch to help with my nerves in comp because I would really start panicking when something would happen and I'd go under pressure. So Mercy One Punch used to be like super fucking nerve-wracking for me because like you can die from one punch. So I would play Mercy One Punch to help with my nerves, and it helped a bit.
How does that go? Do you have like GA, but like you can just melee?
Yeah, you have GA, you have res, but then like you can't shoot. So if someone like just like if someone GAs to you and punches you, you're fucking dead.
Ever done on a paintball?
Yeah, I suck at it.
That's pretty fun. I had a buddy of mine who was like really, really good at it. Like always would win the lobby. He like had this like whole system of like you play this position and then this respawn. It was like the most cringy min-maxing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was pretty fun. I think my all-time favorite, it's not really a custom game mode, but like arcade. I used to love Mystery Deathmatch so much. So much
Oh.
fun. Because that's what got me into Overwatch, is just how like much variety there was of like with the heroes and stuff. Like, you know, you could just, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
different characters. And so I just like picking random characters and see if I can make them work. Of course, there's that one guy that gets Roadhog and just like plays his life the whole game. But
Right.
yeah, other than that, it was still fun.
I really liked Total Mayhem at one point.
I played a few games. I never really got into it because it was kind of like sustain watch, you know, at least back in
Yeah.
Overwatch 1. But I've seen some
Nice,
crazy
Liz.
stat lines from that game.
Yeah. It's really funny. I like how Mercy has 10-second res in that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And imagine you get Valk like just permanently.
Mm-hmm.
What is like the best
Especially,
character in that mode? Like Winston? Just
uh,
permanent bubble?
Sombra's pretty good. Just so,
Yeah,
so you
a
can
lot
hack.
of. Oh yeah, true. And EMP has to be super good. Like you can actually kill
Yeah.
people. I didn't think about that.
So I
Yeah.
feel like Bastion.
Yeah,
I
permaturret.
don't know. I don't really play it that much anymore. It's
Yeah,
it's funny, but it does annoy me how the games go on for like 20 minutes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What else is there? There's the 1v1 elimination, like I think, where you can like pick one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I always hated those modes. I hate like one fight and then you respawn. It's like makes me feel like I'm playing CS:GO or like search and destroy and call it. It's just so boring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like spawn timers.
I remember doing the 3v3 stuff with my friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever we were like about to win or about to lose, we busted out the pharmacy.
Huh. Default. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we can just practice. Like, here's what I would do: look at your teammates' positions, decide who to pocket. Just practice that skill set. It's going to be a little bit messy because maybe it's something you don't have as much experience with, but it's something that you can practice. And then when you do have Valk, I will encourage you to just kind of keep your eyes on your flanks and see if you see opportunities. If you fail miserably, I don't really care. Like, we're not really practicing execution. That comes with time. But we're practicing the mindset shift. If you were to take the game more seriously, of course. Do you play any Juno?
Yeah, she was so fucking fun. I can't wait for her to come back.
Same. I had a lot of fun playing her.
My mercy.
Why Mercy? That's great.
Smiley face.
Yeah, by the way, I appreciated the meow in my official Google Calendar form. I'm like, official, how many hours of sleep? You know, regimen, rah, rah, rah. And then just
Yeah.
meow. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Better than barking, I guess.
No.
All right, position, make a decision. Yep. Because you look at that there and you're like, you might even pocket your Tracer or Winston, you know, if you can safely. Because, like, while these guys are hit scanned, they're just kind of sitting on the floor, you know? So it's like,
Yeah.
they can't see much.
It's hard to get over there unless I like commit to it from the start.
It does, yeah, it is. And then now with your Hanzo's position, it's like way more aggressive, so it's like way more deserving of pocket. Yeah. Really, really well done. Nice. Oh my days, your Ana's bleeding. Okay, find your next target. Yep.
Fucking GA cooldowns.
Nice. Yeah, that was much better. That's much better. I'll just pick the target because it's Hanzo, you know? Look at the position. Like, nice. All right, Valk, eyes in the corner. Keep your eyes open. Look for opportunities. Yep, this is good. Like, see, he's got a really good sightline, right? So you're like, your Tracer's dueling, but your Hanzo has a 6 sightline, right? So then he's not going to go melee range, but this is pretty aggressive for him, right? So this is good. Same thing with Valk. Keep your eyes open. You don't have to use it offensively, obviously, but. Yep, good Valk. People are using it, so you can just sit on them if you want. Worth a try. Oh my days. Body block with a body. That's annoying. Good pocket here as well. Because this is where you're pocketing your Hanzo because he's got a bob in his face, you know? So it's like, he is under pressure, so this is good. This is good. Very well done so far. Okay. Yep, so you can follow that because he's aggressive and it's safe. Stay the pocket. Now move that to Hanzo as quickly as you can. Good. Good, and get ready to cycle back to your Winston depending on what he does. Nicely done. Hanzo's got a good angle. Winston has a good angle. I love the awareness here. Staying with Winston's fine. It's good. It's okay. A little slow with the beam there on the Hanzo, but honestly, other than that, it was okay. I think it's important to note there, like when you guys are getting backline traded, like the fact that you're able to stay on that high ground and keep beam on your Winston is the only reason that he lived that engage, right? And so like that's kind of again what makes Mercy unique. Like you're not necessarily playing Kiriko in terms of like diving with your tank, but like if you can get to that position and pocket him safely, that's pretty unique for a support. And then also being able to pocket your Ana behind at the same time. Okay, same thing here. Look for aggression, look for opportunities with your Valk. Yep, love it. I love it. Yep. Very nice. Very nice. Good pocket priority. Easy. Nice job. I think it's worth pointing out, now this will be something that you will need to continue to practice depending on how serious you are about improving it. But it's a lot of people, when we do live coaching, either they do really, really well or they do really, really badly. And usually it's depending on one thing. If the skill is something that they've let slip or if it's a new habit entirely that they have to develop. For you, this feels not like it's not really changing how you're playing the game. It's putting your attention on a slightly different topic. You get what I'm saying? And so it felt really natural, right? It's felt very natural. Just pay a little bit more attention to who's going aggressive, and then that's it. You've done a good job with it. This person is exhausting. I think they're reworking this map, aren't they?
Oh, that would be...
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind that. To be honest, Dorado's okay, but I don't like it sometimes. Especially if it's, been like a bad session and I see a Dorado. I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. It's good. I mean, this is always like about evaluating your risk. Does that Winston have bubble? Does that Winston have jump? How aggressive can I pocket here without risking my own life? And I think you're making pretty good reads because it's just Winston. If he jumps, you walk away and bubble. Stuff. It's actually so much value too to have like a Winston jump on you and commit bubble on top of you, and you just GA away. Like that's just so much value for your team if he consistently does that. Because if he doesn't have primal or some other sort of follow up, it's just not a good cooldown trade for him at all. Okay, it's worth pointing out the Sombra swap as well there. Good stuff. Good patience with the res there. Really, really good. So that's kind of a decision you have to make. Are you willing to sell your Ana and just make sure that you get good trades? Are you going to be safe sitting on your Ana? Like, I don't really know the answer. You know, I want you to just read the situation.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. All right, Valk, look for opportunities. Probably more reactive with your Valk here, but still kind of keep your eyes open. I think that's a virus on your Sombra, or on your Ana. Yep, nice job. Nice job, nice job, nice job, nice job. Nice job. It's elite level live coaching. I just say nice job a lot. No, I check.
Nice job.
That'd be $700, please. Thank you.
I think they had enough.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the Mercy's good. This is good Mercy. This is not Diamond 3 Mercy, you know. Yeah.
Not to like be delusional or anything, but I do think it is also about Mercy being super bad right now.
I don't think it's delusional. You know, I think it's definitely partially true. Same thing with Valk though. Like I know this is kind of like a troll game, but like still be very, very reactive here if you see an opportunity to use it.
Oh.
Yeah, see.
This is why we're not
See, this is
comp.
Well, that's the strat. The Winston actually, that was the biggest brain tanking ever. Like, look at how much space that he created there. Think about it, you know? Yeah. Sits AFK, it's friendly. You guys are totally out of position. It's great. I need to try that sometime.
Yeah. Need to tell your team, like, okay, guys, after you lose a few fights, you're like, okay, guys, let's sit in spawn. I'm going to go into their backline and pretend to have given up. And then we're going to stomp them.
Yeah, exactly. No comment on that engaged, by the way. Maybe you guys are still fine. Yeah. Okay. Very simple, right? You put some. Now, I hate to be that stat guy, but do you have your damage boost stats that game? Not to be the stat guy, but like let's
70%.
70%, right? A pretty good amount of damage amplified there. Regardless of the stats, like the healing and damage was like really, really, really nice there. Really, really nice. Well done. Okay.
I do like damage boosting a lot.
You did well. You did well. I have very few critiques off of that here. I think the only thing that you could do is you could maybe go back and look at that at like points in time where like, okay, that fight felt a little awkward, that fight felt a little bit awkward. And obviously like the more divey the composition, the more thought you're going to have to put in. But if you compare that VOD to the Colloseo VOD, the obvious difference wasn't just the effort, but the effort putting towards I'm on the right target at the right time without risking my life, regardless of whether it's a Winston, whether it's a Hanzo, or even if it's a freaking Tracer, right? Like there were 2 or 3 times just in that defense where the Tracer needed the pocket and you were there to save her. So, okay, let's take some notes here. Mercy, prioritize pocket on positioning. PPPP. Positioning, not just who the target is. Don't pocket people just because they're good on paper to pocket. Lots of P words here. And then with Valk, keep eyes open on angles for pressuring squishies if your team isn't getting Valk value. Does that kind of make sense, that second point?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Um. No, not really. I'll message you if I get any.